All right. So we're going to be solving by direct substitution. This is like very basic algebra.
What is that?
What's the stuff on like Mr. Hot and Strong and
That's Chase.
You just know him?
Mr. Hot, Strong.
Miss Marshall called him that the other day. Not all of that. Not all of that. Just the first one or two things.
So you call him Mr. Hot and Strong.
He said.
Well,
Stacy Wasey.
what's above that?
Stacy Wasey.
That's what the kids put my name up there as.
Stacey Wasey.
What's
Amy
above that?
Stacey
And
Wasey.
what is that? Toller on Taylor. What is that?
Toblerone Taylor.
Joelle. I think it's Taylor Tot.
Oh, that is.
No, it's like Toller.
Yeah, it's Taylor Tot.
Joelle
Joelle
Hello, Hobie.
Or something like that.
Marielle and Hobie.
I
and
can't. It's just
and
too
Taylor Rover and Taylor Tot and Stacy Wasey and Mr. Hot and Strong and Fragile and Delicious.
10.
Too much.
Yeah, tell me about it. Alright, so direct substitution, we literally are just plugging in this value for x. So f of 2, okay, this shows that this is what we're plugging in for x. 8 times 2 plus 5 times 2 to the 4th minus 3 times 2 squared minus 2 cubed.
That's a J, right?
What?
Is that a J or a comma?
Or, well, technically a semicolon.
What is
It's not in standard
Two equals a 2 plus 5 2 minus 3 2
It doesn't matter for this.
2. Should we just multiply all these?
Yes.
Okay.
So, 8 times 2 is?
16. Ah, I got it first.
2 to the 4th is?
2, 4,
60.
8.
Times 5.
Hush. Hold up. 80.
Nice. No.
40.
70. 70.
It's 80.
70. No, 60.
It's 80.
60.
What? 16 times.
It's
Wait.
80. It's
80?
It is 80.
No, is
It's
it really?
literally 80.
No, it's 85.
85.
No,
it's 80.
no,
No,
it's
lie.
80. It's 80. It's
16
80.
times 5.
Yeah.
5, 8.
I said 89 years ago.
Where's
Alright,
She had to
Where's
make
the?
sure.
Is you?
there it is.
What?
Wow.
Are you writing in like invisible ink?
No, the light was on. There was a glare, so it took it away.
Oh, I was like, what?
12 minus 12.
16 plus 80.
See, we're all gonna sound dumb in the
Minus
video. Because in
8.
the video, the zero's gonna be there.
Minus.
Like, oh.
Like, where's the zero?
Peyton's gonna be like, what are they talking about?
Like, it's right there.
I feel like they all need glasses.
Okay. So.
96.
96 minus
84. 76.
Beautiful.
That was a really.
There's
easy.
nothing beautiful about it.
It's so easy though.
I know,
it's
It's easy, but it's
I
not
miss
beautiful.
the math
with more numbers than words.
I do too.
I'd rather take numbers
That's
than
good
words.
stuff.
Alright, g of x equals 4x to the 5th plus 6x cubed plus x squared minus 10x plus 5. X equals negative 2.
I just like, what's the point of writing it g of x or like f of x?
Because it tells us that it's a function that we're evaluating at this particular value. So g of negative 2 equals, I'm just writing it and then y'all can write it. Now, because this is negative 2, make sure you put everything in parentheses, okay, that's being raised to a power so that you don't forget about the negative sign. think I progressively wrote the number smaller as I went from left to right.
Oh, you did.
Oops.
Alright, let's see here. 4 times 32 would be, negative 32. 4 times negative 32.
Is 128.
Negative 128.
Plus,
Are you sure?
actually it's minus. I was getting there.
Minus
48.
Josh, be slower in math.
minus 4.
Mean
Are you sure?
is
It's not
plus 4.
mean.
Wait. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Ha.
Plus
Give
20.
me a check. Plus 5.
Plus
Ha.
5. You know, this
Took the easy one.
Yes.
could be minus 1.
Okay.
Okay, equivalent.
176 plus 4 is 172 plus.
Negative 170.
I know. Stop. I'm doing something in my head. And you just messed me up. Thanks, Josh.
Cool.
He said
19.
Josh.
19. 109?
48.
Wait.
Oh, I was wrong.
Oh, negative
Negative
147.
147.
I messed up by adding instead of subtracting.
I didn't want to subtract 176 by 29 in my head, and then I didn't really get my calculator out, so I was just waiting.
I'm trying to exercise my mental math.
That's a good thing. I was sitting with the juniors at the Grandparents' Day spring concert for the elementary kids the other day because
How come we didn't go to that? Were we supposed
Well,
to 'cause our prayer partner?
no, our prayer partners have been going through like a lot, so we wanted to go like watch them and stuff, and they like invited us to come, so like those of us that could like went, and so we stayed for 5th grade because it was during stat, so Melcher was there, so he wanted to see his prayer partner too, so it was funny because the 5th graders were doing mental math, and I kid you not, the juniors were struggling. Miss Jones was like saying off things like, okay, 8 times 6 plus 4 times 2 minus 3 plus 10, go. And like they were like that, and the juniors were like, and I was like, guys, come on now, like, come on.
What period
I would
was this?
struggle
It's
too.
5th,
Fifth?
so it was my.
It's not like in the morning.
It's like
towards the end of the day.
after lunch.
I was like, come on, guys, like not that hard.
I can only do math if it's 2nd to 4th period. All other periods are just.
I feel like
Well, the good news is I request pre-cal to be before 5th period, so.
Uh-huh.
I feel like third period is a good time.
I don't know. If
That does seem like a good math class time.
Yeah.
That's my free period, so. I want it 7th because, you know, just make my life way easier, but.
Every day.
16.
All right, 16. So this one we're getting into a little bit different. We are now doing synthetic substitution.
The thing.
Fake substitution.
Yeah, you're right.
Kidding. All right, f of x equals 8x to the 4th plus 12x cubed plus 6x squared minus 5x plus 9. And the value is x equals -2.
That's a lot.
So
All right, now don't go start writing like we did on the other problem. Because we ain't doing it that way.
Can't do it. What are you
Not
doing?
gonna do it.
What
Wait,
are
what'd
we
you say?
doing?
I said we're not gonna
What
do
are we
it.
doing?
I want that one.
Chocolate.
What is it?
Chocolate.
There's a lot of chocolate donuts. I don't know what he's talking about.
Can you keep one of those
He
M&M
found
donuts
ones that
for
was
me
perfect.
for lunch,
Oh.
so that way I can have it with the ice cream?
Yeah, I'll get a bowl in a minute and you can put it in there. Alright,
I could buy it, but I want it.
he wants it with the ice cream at lunch. we're gonna sell, like, anybody that buys a donut at lunch get ice cream on top of it.
Like, what spoon size are you?
Your brother has a lot of money.
With what?
It's dirty money.
He literally took out $80 this morning to buy donuts.
He
It's
bought
dirty
like
money.
3 donuts.
I was like, okay. All right. So this new method, okay? Now, this needs to be in standard form for these ones. Is this in standard form?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Standard form, check. Done. We're going to take this number, and you're going to put it in the corner, and you're going to draw a little box around it.
Oh, it was bad. Put it in the corner.
Sorry.
-2. He's just so bad today.
That number's pretty warm though.
All right, now you're going to copy down the number only in order going across. So you're going to have 8, 12, 6, -5, 9. If a number is missing, so like if this x squared term wasn't here, we would put a 0 there. Okay, if you don't do that, your answer will end up being wrong.
What did you
Put
say?
0.
If this, like if a term is missing when it's in standard form, then you put a 0 anywhere where there's one that's
Like, you
missing.
mean by it went from like
If it went from like the x cubed term just to the x
Oh,
term and there
okay.
was no x squared term, we'd put a 0 where the x squared should be. So then skip a line because you need a line to write stuff in, and then draw your line.
Okay.
All right, now the first step is hands down the hardest one.
That was the first step.
We bring down the 8.
Oh my god.
Wait.
Slow
Kidding,
down.
kidding.
Slow
Well, not kidding about that's the step, but it's not the hardest step.
I thought you were serious.
All right. We take whatever's down here and we multiply it by whatever's in the box. So that's -16. So we write -16 above the line under the next number. Now it's basic math. 12 minus 16 is -4.
And then you move the
-4 times -2 is
Negative.
Positive
8.
8.
So then 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 times -2 is -28.
And then we get -32. 33. My bad.
-33 times -2.
66. So 66 plus 9 would be 75.
And so we box it off, and that's our answer.
Oh.
Wow, this is
That's
actually kind of
not
fun.
hard at all.
So this is like not anything. You're not doing it the same way at all, like the other ones.
No.
I know it's gonna be something weird with like fractions and square roots.
Fractions actually typically end up canceling out really nicely with something like this. So yeah.
Can you do more?
Well, none of these do, but we do something also called synthetic division, which is very similar, but yeah. All right, 18. H of x equals -8x cubed plus 14x minus 35, and x is equal to 4.
Let's do this small one. Now we gotta fill in the 0.
Okay, we have to fill in the 0 because what's missing?
X squared.
Okay, so what this really, technically the term's not missing, it's just 0, so you don't have to write this. I'm just writing it for you to see it for the moment because I don't want you to forget to write it when you get down to the synthetic part. So, when you're used to it, you don't need to write this. This is just purely for you to see it on this one. I won't write this step again after that. Just so you see what I mean by it. There's a 0 times x squared, which is 0, which is why it's not in this one. That's all I'm doing. If that confuses you, just ignore what's in red. All right, so x is equal to 4, so we put a 4 in the box. 4 has now been bad. All right, we write down our numbers in order. So -8. We are missing the x squared term, so we've got to put a 0. Then 14, then -35.
Okay. So we bring down the -8, right?
Yep, bring down the negative 8.
And then negative 8 times 4 is negative 32.
Negative 32.
And that would just equal negative 32. Is 128.
128.
And it's negative. Don't forget about the negative sign.
You said 112.
Which then would be 114. Negative 114.
Negative 114 times 4 is,
456.
okay, it's
Still
negative.
my answer, Nate.
Negative 456 minus 35.
Would be negative 480, 91.
491.
I'm stealing my answers.
It's the same. We have the
It's
same
the same.
answers.
No, it's not.
Just get it past.
I am getting it, but then you're throwing me off.
Put it in the corner.
I'm not throwing you off. I'm saying
Just be faster.
Alright, 20 g of x equals 6x to the 5th plus 10x cubed minus 27. X equals negative 3.
You gotta put in a lot of zeros.
Okay, so we have several things missing. My x to the 4th term is missing. My x squared term is missing. And my x term is missing. So I'm not going to rewrite it like I did in 18.
'Cause that's just
I can visibly see where I need to put zeros. So the only thing I just want to mentally note when I first look at it that I need zeros so I don't forget, because I'm telling you, I'm emphasizing this so much because it will happen that somebody inevitably will forget to put in the zeros, and then they're going to be like, why is my answer wrong? Happens all the time. So, negative 3 in the corner. So then tell me in order what to put down.
6, 0, 10, 0, negative 27.
6, 0, 10, 0, 0, negative 27.
X to the 1th?
Yep.
I didn't know that. Well,
Oh my gosh.
What?
I'm in this group chat for the softball team I play for, and I swear if people could just like read the schedule, that would be great. Like the schedule like clearly says that tonight's a scrimmage, and this person's like, so are we having practice? Are we having a game? Or like, I'm like,
break the schedule.
Does that make you like even more frustrated? All things
what
are
is
considered
0
that you're
plus
now
negative
okay?
18?
yes.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not just like every once in a while, like it's every
Where'd you
week.
get a negative?
The same person.
Yes, like it's.
Where
And somebody literally can say, we have practice today, and then they'll respond, do we have practice today?
Where you play softball at?
I play for Coastal. We play in Yorktown, but I play co-ed softball.
I have too many things in my pocket.
Take them out.
I'm trying to, but they don't have to stop.
All right, so what do I do?
Bring down the 6.
Bring down the 6.
Multiplied by negative 3.
Negative
and equal.
Fine. You can have the rest.
Negative 18.
Times.
No, go ahead. Take it. Take it. Just take it. Take it. Who wants
I
it?
never knew we'd be fighting over math.
Yes.
It's kind of
Yeah,
amazing.
negative- I mean, no.
Christian's like, I'm just not gonna fight for it. Probably safer at this point. You might get yelled at.
54.
Yeah.
I got 54.
Okay. Next.
And then you get 64. And then times negative 3 is negative 192.
Minus 0.
No, I'm literally not. Minus, it's still negative 192. And then 526.
What?
It's 526.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Nope.
Ha. You're wrong.
Oh, 576. Sorry. I don't know why I did that.
So I was like, you're off by 50. So I think you just wrote something wrong.
I was trying to like speed.
526.
Jake,
Huh?
you got the last one?
Okay. Give me a minute. Now I have to think about it. Shoot. Let's see. A 1,500.
this number is wrong.
Negative 1,720.
Why do you give me the largest calculator?
I
So-
was 10 off.
I just keep forgetting to multiply everything by the 3. That's I just like gave up on.
Wow, we're not done yet. I thought we were done. We're not done.
Negative 100.
And
1,000. I can't
5.
count.
Negative 1,750.
Ah!
Alright, I'm gonna give you one to do on your own and then we'll go over it.
Whoever does it first.
Gets a piece of candy.
Okay, let's do it.
I feel like I'm about to get attacked.
Write slower, please.
Write slower. I'm not doing
Yes.
anything. You're doing the problem.
Oh, wait, we gotta
Y'all are doing this problem.
it's
Whoever
like
wins can have a
speed
piece of candy.
Speed
Or an
boost.
apple fritter.
What?
Apple fritter.
Basically an apple donut. I think there's still one in the box. Yeah, there is. I think we should do speed drills in here.
Done.
You gotta come show it to me.
I'm just not trying.
I really hope this is right. I probably messed up somewhere. 22. Alright.
You want a piece of candy?
Sure.
What do you want?
How many zeros was in there?
I have all kinds of good stuff.
Reese's egg.
I do.
I mean, I'm done.
I think I would have got it if I didn't have to go back because I actually multiplied by 3.
Oh.
I was just too used to the other problem.
Yeah.
I was on the last step.
All right. So what did we do?
Bring
Bring
down
the
one
one
more.
down.
Multiply by 4.
And it's 4.
Then 4 plus 6, 0.
This is 4. Multiply by 4 is 16. 16 plus 0 is 16. Multiply 16 by 4 is 64. 64 plus 3 is 67. 67 times 4 is 268.
Yeah, that's
Minus 20 is
Oh, I'm
248.
I'm brain dead. I completely missed.
Great.
I gave up.
See, when it's for food, I can do it fast and right.
I was distracted by the apple fritter.
All right. The last thing we're gonna do is end behavior. Okay. This is what happens as the function goes to infinity. Okay. So you have to kind of imagine a little bit of what would be happening to a graph. So 28 f of x equals 10 times x to the 4th.
Only one.
So I want to know what happens as the limit, or to the limit as x approaches infinity of 10x to the 4th. I'm writing it this way so you get used to this notation come pre-cal and calculus. And the limit as x approaches negative infinity of 10x to the 4th. So all I'm doing is I'm imagining I put in some really, really large number for x, okay, for the first one. So if I put in 500,
Bro, I can't.
where is that going? So 500 to the 4th is some really, 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 really big number, right?
Can someone teach me how to draw an infinity sign?
It's a sideways 8.
I literally can't. Like, I can't.
2 circles.
Or some
next to
people
each
just
other.
do this, but I don't.
David, or just
I
turn your
can't. I can't.
David, turn your
Or do
paper
this. Watch, do this.
sideways and draw an 8.
Oh, no, that's too much.
It still looks goofy, like.
I can't.
All right, so 500 to the 4th is some really big number, right?
Oh
Yeah.
multiplying it by 10 just makes it an even bigger number, right?
Yeah.
So this is going to infinity. Sorry, David. You gotta draw another one.
I literally don't like go.
Wait, 500 to the 4?
Yeah, I'm just imagining some really big number.
Okay.
Because it's going to infinity. I don't know what infinity is, but I know it's to infinity and beyond.
It's like, wait, can you just like explain what that is real quick? Because I was too busy trying to draw it.
Yeah, so I'm looking, okay, as x goes toward infinity, so as x gets really, really big in the positive direction, okay, I want to know what's happening to that function. Where is it going? Okay, so by plugging in some really big number like 500, okay, I'm just mentally imagining what's happening. 500 to the 4th is going to be some really big number, right?
Yeah.
Multiplying it by 10, it's still some really big number
Positive.
that I don't know. So it's positive, so it's just going to be positive infinity. Okay, so then with the second one, I've got x going to negative infinity, okay? So when I look at that, okay, I'm thinking of some really small number like negative 500, okay? If I put negative 500 to the 4th, what happens to that?
Negative 500 to the 4th.
What's going to happen to the
it's
sign of it?
positive.
It's going to be positive, okay? A negative being to an even power is going to make it positive. So positive, really big number times 10, still a positive, really big number. So this one's also going to positive infinity.
So, to these, the answer is always either negative infinity or infinity.
Or positive infinity, yes.
That's as easy.
Mm-hmm.
So we just call numbers that we don't feel like multiplying.
Dude, I'm literally having to draw a C,
Huh?
a backwards
just feel
C,
like
and
really
connect
large
the
numbers
two
that we don't
C's.
feel like
Bro, what
multiplying
are you
infinity.
doing?
Okay.
You can tell your brother that you did limits today.
Huh?
So you can tell your brother that you did limits today.
Limits?
He has to do it. He has to do a lot of limits. Their limits are a lot harder, but.
Because when I don't,
All right, let's look at another one. F of x equals negative 2x cubed plus 7x minus 4.
it actually helped me.
I know, it helped me.
Wait, what?
Wait, that actually helped me. Thank you, dude.
What
do
does
you do?
counterclockwise mean?
I was
You
going the
mean-
wrong way,
And it basically looked like a U, like a weird U with two little circles.
Wait, just 30, not 28.
All right, so again, I'm looking at the limit as x approaches infinity and the limit as x approaches negative infinity of this function. Okay, you don't have to actually write the function when you do it if you don't want to. You could just write a f of x and we'll know what that means. So when we're looking at limits at infinity, we only care about the highest powered term. So all I actually care about is this negative 2x cubed.
So it's negative infinity is where it's gonna be infinity.
Okay, so at infinity, I plug in 500, 500x cubed, that's positive. Okay, so it's positive, really big number. Times negative 2 means it's negative. So this one's negative infinity. Then if I plug in something like negative 500, what happens to the sign of it?
It's going to be negative.
It's going to be negative times negative 2, it's
That's positive.
positive, so this one's going to positive infinity.
No more infinity signs. Stop.
Oh man, Benny saying what's
And-
Pringle?
Can I just draw Buzz Lightyear instead of
Ooh, I think it's
Buzz
easy.
Lightyear
That's
easier?
known.
probably that. He literally just has a purple chin and an egghead.
What?
Do y'all need to see another one or are we good?
I think we're good.
I think
We're
we're
good?
Please.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so your problems are
Not that harsh.
0, 0, 0.
Infinity.
5, 7, 9, 11,
9, 11.
15, 19, 29, and 31.